Who do you think will be the next president? As the year 2024 rolls in, the race for the next leader of the free world is officially on. According to recent Fox News and CNN polls, the main contenders have emerged and are already making waves. On the Republican side, we have former President Trump leading the pack, while others like Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley are also contenders. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side, President Biden is the incumbent, but there's a growing desire for fresh faces. Interesting times ahead, wouldn't you say? Now let's delve into the key issues that are shaping this election. First up, we have inflation. It's more than just a fancy economic term, folks. It's about the buying power of your hard-earned dollars. When inflation rises, your dollar can't stretch as far. It means the cost of goods and services from your morning coffee to your monthly rent could skyrocket. It's a big deal because it affects everyone, from college students to retirees. Next on the agenda is border security. Imagine your home with open doors and windows, with anyone free to stroll in and out. That's essentially what we're talking about here. It's about who gets to come into the country, how, and under what conditions. It's about our safety, our economy, and our national identity. And of course, we can't forget about foreign policy. We're part of a global community, whether we like it or not. Our relationships with other countries matter. They affect everything from the price of gas to the threat of war. It's crucial to have leaders who can navigate these complex dynamics to protect our interests and maintain peace. Last but definitely not least, we have the issue of presidential conduct. Recent polls suggest that a whopping 73% of voters believe the US president should always follow the law. It's about integrity, accountability, and trust in our highest office. These issues are critical to the future of our country, and your vote will help decide the direction we take. So, who are these people vying for your vote? First up, we have former President Donald Trump. Known for his unconventional approach, Trump's support among Republican voters has seen a significant rise. His popularity stems from his strong stance on border security, his commitment to revamping foreign policy, and his promise to tackle inflation. Despite his controversial past, there's no denying that Trump's influence on the Republican Party is substantial. Then, we have Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, another strong contender in the Republican field. DeSantis' support is on the rise, with his focus on state rights and economic growth resonating with many voters. He's also known for his aggressive stance on border security, a key issue among Republican voters. On the Democratic side, we have President Joe Biden. His administration continues with a challenging first term, marked by high inflation and controversy over his foreign policy. Biden's approval ratings are on a decline with even Democratic voters. His policies perceived as mainstream by a majority of media outlets as they aim to address economic inequality and climate change. But these policies are considered by many voters to be a lower priority than reining in inflation or securing the border. Also in the Democratic lineup is Vice President Kamala Harris. While not leading in the polls, Harris has been making waves with her focus on social justice issues and her commitment to a more inclusive America. Despite her focus on social justice, many voters consider her unresponsive to the issues of inflation, border security, and foreign policy. And let's not forget California Governor Gavin Newsom. While he may not be a front-runner, Newsom's progressive policies, particularly on climate change and healthcare, have garnered him a dedicated following. Finally, we have Nikki Haley, another notable Republican candidate. Haley's broad support among voters can be attributed to her moderate stance on key issues and her experience in international diplomacy, which sets her apart from her Republican counterparts. As you can see, each candidate brings a unique perspective to the table. Now you may be wondering, why should I bother voting? Well, let's break it down. Voting, in its simplest form, is the act of casting a ballot to help decide who will lead your country. It's a powerful expression of your personal beliefs and values. When you vote, you're not just selecting a candidate, you're shaping the future of your nation. Each vote carries weight, believe it or not. Elections have been won or lost by a handful of votes. Your vote could tip the scales in favor of the candidate who represents your views on key issues like inflation, border security, and foreign policy. Moreover, voting is the heartbeat of democracy. It's how we ensure that power remains with the people. When you cast your vote, you're participating in a centuries-old democratic process, contributing to the collective decision that determines who will guide the nation forward. So stand up, step forward, and let your voice be heard. Don't sit on the sidelines watching the world change around you. Be an active participant in shaping that change. Remember, your vote is your voice. Make sure it's heard in the 2024 presidential election.